Have you ever experienced that feeling? Someone keeps appearing in your mind. No matter how hard you try to forget them, they seem to occupy a fixed corner of your mind, day after day, even in your dreams. But the real question is, when you're thinking about them, are they thinking about you too? Or is it all just a game your mind is playing? Stay with me, because in this video, you'll discover a psychological truth that may make you look at all your thoughts in a completely different way. Have you ever asked yourself why someone keeps showing up in your head over and over again, even when you're busy with work, even when you try to focus on other things, just one brief moment, and their image appears vividly again? In fact, this isn't random at all. It's the result of powerful psychological mechanisms operating inside your brain. One of the first reasons is the Zeigarnik effect. Psychology uses this term to describe the phenomenon where the human brain tends to remember unfinished experiences, stories without an ending. If there's something unresolved between you and that person, words left unsaid, a relationship that never went anywhere, or a memory that still leaves a question mark, your brain will keep pulling them back into your thoughts. It's like a song that never reaches its final chorus, looping in your head again and again, refusing to stop. Not only that, there's another factor that makes it hard for you to break free emotional triggers. Just a familiar melody, a fleeting scent, or a place tied to shared memories, and everything instantly awakens the memory of them. Suddenly, it feels as if they're right there, in every corner of your mind. And you know what's fascinating? The brain doesn't distinguish between memory and the present. When an emotional memory surges, it almost recreates the original feeling, making you believe they never really left. On top of that, don't forget the role of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and excitement. If that person once brought you moments of joy, anticipation, or even intense emotional experiences, your brain will tag them as a source of happiness. From then on, the mere act of remembering them releases a bit of dopamine, reinforcing the habit of thinking about them. Gradually, you form a mental loop, a habit you never consciously chose. The question is this a true bond, or just a psychological loop your brain isn't ready to let go of yet? To answer that, we need to take one more step, clearly distinguishing between real love and obsession. So, when someone keeps lingering in your mind, is it real love or just a psychological obsession? This is exactly where many people get confused, even equating constant thoughts about someone with being deeply in love. But in reality, psychology shows that between love and obsession, there is a very clear boundary. True love is built on emotional connection, mutual understanding, and meaningful shared experiences. When you think of someone because of genuine conversations, because of the warmth they've shown you, or because of memories you've built together, that may very well be love. Love brings peace, makes you feel supported, and most importantly, it nurtures a sense of safety inside you. Obsession, on the other hand, is different. Obsession usually comes with restlessness, anxiety, and a craving for validation. You may find yourself constantly checking your phone to see if they've texted, overanalyzing every single punctuation mark in a conversation, or endlessly scrolling through their social media. Instead of bringing comfort, obsession traps your mind in a whirlpool of tension. The problem is, the human brain sometimes doesn't clearly distinguish between love and emotional addiction. When you keep thinking about someone, your brain activates neural pathways similar to those triggered in addiction. Each time you remember them, you're unintentionally injecting yourself with dopamine. And so, you're pulled into a loop without even realizing whether you're truly seeking love or just the familiarity of a mental habit. Ask yourself this. When you think of them, do you feel peace, love, and warmth? Or do you feel anxious and desperate for a response? The answer to that question will reveal a lot about the nature of the connection you're clinging to. And then, another question naturally arises. If you're always thinking about them, are they thinking about you? And here it is, the question almost everyone has asked themselves at some point. If I can't stop thinking about them, are they thinking about me too? It's a question both romantic and haunting, and one that's incredibly difficult to answer definitively. On the one hand, we love to believe in invisible connections, that feeling as if a flow of energy runs between two people, Have you ever suddenly thought of someone only for your phone to ring minutes later with a message from them? That moment makes us believe that maybe mental connection is real, that when you remember them, they might also be thinking of you. Many call this a kind of spiritual bond, a thread the rational mind struggles to explain. But science offers another perspective. Psychology and neuroscience suggest that most of these experiences come from pattern recognition. When you think about someone too much, your brain becomes hypersensitive to anything related to them. You see a post that sounds like something they once said, you hear a song that coincidentally matches an old memory, or they happen to text you at the right moment. All of it makes you believe it's a sign, when in fact, those signals were always there, you just weren't paying attention before. And there's another fascinating phenomenon, the mirror effect. When you frequently interact with someone, follow what they do, or even silently appear around them on social media, your presence subtly influences them in return. They may not be thinking of you all the time, but this constant presence plants you into their awareness to some degree. So, in the end, are they really thinking about you? The truth is, it's not that simple. Sometimes it's true that two minds meet on the same frequency, as if there's a connection that can't be explained. But more often than not, it's your own mind weaving the story, stitching together scattered events into a romantic belief. The important thing is, you can't control whether they're thinking about you. The only thing you can control is your own mind. And if that loop of thoughts is exhausting you, you can absolutely learn how to step out of it. That's exactly what we're going to talk about next. But let's say you're already tired of this loop. You don't want their image taking up space in your mind anymore. You want your peace back. You want to focus on yourself. So how do you break free? The first step, don't fight those thoughts. It sounds counterintuitive, but the harder you push yourself to not think, the tighter your brain holds on. Instead, observe them. When their image appears, tell yourself, this thought showed up again. Then gently let it drift away, like a cloud passing through the sky. Recognizing and accepting instead of resisting will gradually weaken the loop's power over time. The second step, fill that empty space with something new. The human brain thrives on stimulation. If you don't feed it new sources of energy, it will default back to the familiar, which is them. So, pick up a new hobby, take on a new challenge, or spend more time with people who bring you positivity. When your mind is filled with fresh experiences, the space reserved for them will gradually shrink. The third step, try a small test. Pull your energy back from this connection. Stop being the one who initiates messages. Stop checking up on them on social media. Stop reacting to everything they do. And then, watch. If you no longer maintain that string, do they even notice? Do they reach out to you? Or was it really just you feeding a one-sided connection all along? The truth is, your mind is more powerful than you think. It can build a cage that convinces you can't escape. But at the same time, it's also the key to your freedom. When you reclaim the space in your mind, you'll realize the issue was never really about them. It was always about the emotions you were holding on to. And this brings us to one final truth that may surprise you, the truth about so-called shared thoughts between two people. And here's the truth that might shock you. Just because you can't stop thinking about someone doesn't mean they're thinking about you. In most cases, it's just a game your mind is playing. The human brain has a habit of clinging to fragments of memories, unresolved feelings, and looping them like a tape that never stops. It makes you believe there's a mutual connection when in reality, it may be only on your side. But here's the real twist. Sometimes, in truly deep connections, something strange happens. There are moments when two minds think of each other at the very same time, no messages exchanged, no obvious signals. It feels like an invisible current linking two hearts, making you suddenly remember them at the exact moment they're thinking of you. Science has yet to fully prove it, but anyone who's experienced it knows that feeling is very real. So then, what is the truth? Is it just a psychological illusion, or is it an unspoken connection that we can't yet explain? The answer doesn't lie in their mind, it lies within you. Because at the end of the day, you're not truly obsessed with that person. What you miss, what you crave, is the emotion they once gave you. Maybe it was joy, excitement, or the way they filled an emptiness inside you. That person is just a symbol, a mirror reflecting the deeper emotions within your own heart. And once you realize this, you'll understand that control has never left your hands. You can keep clinging to those cycles of thought, or you can gently set them down and move forward. So the next time you ask yourself, are they thinking about me, try changing the question to, am I giving too much power to my own emotions? Because the answer has never been in their mind, it has always been in your heart. There's one truth you need to remember. Our minds are always seeking connection, but sometimes that very search becomes the cage that traps us. The person you can't stop thinking about may not be your destiny at all, but the emotions they left behind, the joy, the longing, even the disappointment, those are the real lessons helping you understand yourself better. If you feel that what I've shared in this video has helped you see things more clearly, leave me a small sign, a like, a subscribe. That's how you and I connect, so I can keep bringing you more psychological insights and practical dating advice. And remember, this is just one of countless secrets of the human mind. The next video may be the missing piece you've been searching for on your own journey. So don't miss it. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll meet again in the next story. But for now, ask yourself one last time, do you really miss that person, or do you just miss the feelings they once gave you? The answer, only you can find.